In contemporary post-feminist America, it's hard to believe that some women are still too shy or embarrassed to speak up.
I didn't want to be the leaky lady.
The women's movement made it easier for us to be heard.
She described my pelvic floor as like this.
But with so much progress, why are 1 in 3 women still suffering in silence? We decided to investigate.
Immediately after the birth of my first child, I ended up with this wildly out of control body.
The bladder issues started for me obviously with the pregnancies.
I have had a long time of health issues, and the frequency issue is something I've been living with for 15 plus years.
I had no bladder control, things starting to fall out, pain, sexual issues.
I get up probably 4 times in the night to go to the bathroom, and you know that's crazy. That's what I did when I was pregnant, but you know I'm still doing that.
I would lay down, I would fall asleep, and within an hour I'd be waking back up because, oh, I have to go to the bathroom. Another hour would go by, I'd be back up, and on and on and on it went.
I live in Ohio. We have 5 beautiful children who are all in all sorts of activities and, you know, running all the time. So as far as the kids go and all their wonderful activities, it's usually me that does all the running with them and getting them to and from. I mean, honestly, there are days, because they're all 3 at different schools, and I swear sometimes I'm passing myself. Bye, Mom. Hi, girls. Bye-bye. I gotta go. I gotta get Zany picked up. Bye. You know, that here I am going, and then there I am coming again. It's just ridiculous. So it's a lot of running with them. I am probably in my car, I would guess, probably 4 to 5 hours a day. Yeah. You know, you find yourself going through McDonald's a lot, which, you know, I hate, but I don't probably eat right, and I definitely don't sleep. All my kids have all been rather large children. The bladder issues started for me, obviously, with the pregnancies. The constant going to the bathroom, which of course I just, you know, associated it with it being pregnant. It was after Zany that I started kind of noticing, and he would be the 4th child. When you get to practice and you find out what kind of cleats you can have, then we'll go buy them. But how do you know what kind of cleats you have? Last time we bought the cleats, they were the wrong cleats and you never wore them, remember? Zeki was a quarterback, one of the most, you know, exciting positions to play for his age. It's thrilling. You know, I would start jumping up and down on the sidelines when he's throwing a pass that someone's caught, and I'd be like, oh, I can't do that. And actually stated out loud, oh my God, I just peed my pants. One of his friends' father heard me say that and said, okay, now Lena's mom's peeing her pants, and you know, we all just kind of chuckled. I'm personally not chuckling inside. I mean, that has happened to them many a times. I always wear a panty liner every day of my life, and typically change that panty liner, I'm going to say 3 or 4 times a day, because I've jumped, or I have, you know, coughed, or I've sneezed, or whatever it is. We have a lake house, and we go up there a lot on weekends, and we just got a new tube, and I ride it with Mackenzie, and you know, every couple minutes as we're hitting the waves and bouncing around, I'm leaking again. It's not just the activities, it's not just the jumping, it's getting up in the middle of the night, but my family lives 12 hours away, and when we drive, you know, home to see them, it's my husband looking over at me saying, stop drinking your iced tea. You got to quit. We're not stopping 100 times for you. It's a painful feeling to have to go that bad. And my children's life is getting busier, and my life is not going to change. It's not going to slow down. I'm going to be running. I'm going to be picking up. I'm going to be at a lot of activities. I met a neighbor across the street, Jeanette Gear. She needed some help with an event that she does for Dr. Bologna, who does the Accidental Sisterhood.
We've been traveling the country for the last 3.5 years, educating women on all things pelvic floor health related. Once again, we have a room filled with over 400 women, standing room only. It is clear that this is information that women want and need, and we are so delighted to be able to bring this to people.
So, well, welcome to the Accidental Sisterhood. The great thing about this afternoon is there are no co-pays. There are no deductibles, you don't have to get undressed, and you're not going to have to put your legs up in those stirrups.
So I got roped into traveling around with her, working at the events. It was actually fun for me. I'm not traveling with children, I'm going to stay in a hotel. Oh, this is sweet. So we did a few of the events, and I know what what the Accidental Sisterhood book is about. I know all of that, but I'm thinking, I'm just here working, it's not for me. But as You listen to his lecture and you hear the women, testimonials, and you hear the other doctors talk, and then you're like, oh, that is exactly me. The part that worries me is me not being able to do what I need to do the next day or an hour after. I have finally been convinced by hearing all these stories over and over, and people talking about how it has bettered their life, and their recovery was easy, their recovery was great, and now their life is so different. I now realize that, it really is something that I want to do and I need to do.
She's pretty much your typical patient. She's active, she's young, she's hardworking, she's doing a lot around the house, but she hasn't sought therapy yet, despite the fact that she knows everything about it and sees me all the time.
I had read his book, so it was really Dr. Bologna that I feel did it for me. I think it's all that he truly has a care for healing women and making their lives different and better. And seeing his warm personality, conveying this to these women, he truly cares. There's a reason to do this because it will help, and I just need to do it.
I think a lot of women, because it's a personal issue, they're concerned to talk about it, whether it be, again, with their physician, their primary care doc, or their OBGYN. And really the issue becomes taking time away from the family or work. And she knows all the ins and outs. She's talked to me about it. She knows her time off. But there's going to be a recovery time.
So I've made the choice to go forward. I've made the appointment with Dr. Bologna, and we're going to come up with a solution. Okay, I have an announcement to make.
You're not pregnant again.
No. I have decided for sure, it's on the books, I'm having the surgery with Dr. B.
Yay!
Finally, finally, sisterhood girls, finally, that's right.
About time.
What finally made you decide it's time?
Well, Zeki's football season is starting. He's a quarterback again. My God, I can't be peeing on the sidelines.
So that's what the sling is intended for. That coughing, sneezing, lifting, stepping off a curb, and all of a sudden leaking. It doesn't help the patient who has that urgency. When they gotta go quick.
The word surgery does scare them. My son put it on his Facebook. My mom's gonna have a surgery and I hope it all turns out okay. I'm like, buddy, let's not be putting that stuff on the Facebook. They're gonna call and ask you why, and what are you gonna tell them next? Well, I'm gonna tell them something about your bladder. I guess, I don't know. You're not gonna tell them anything.
What we tell everybody, and much like what we told Georgia, is we do ask for 4 weeks, no heavy lifting, pushing, pulling. Walking's fine, stairs are fine, showering's fine, driving's fine when they're comfortable. We tell them that they are going to be sore. The procedure takes about an hour.
My fear of the whole procedure was my downtime and how I would handle that as a mother that owns her own business, and I didn't think that the recovery time would go as easy and as smooth as it did.
Our examples of how patients do post-operative run the gamut. I've had ladies who have gone to the kids' soccer game or performance right after surgery or the next day, to folks who are uncomfortable for a couple of days, and mostly they're sore when they walk.
A week out, I feel very good. A little sore, only if I sit down hard or anything. But as far as having energy, I have energy, I feel good, I truly feel great. I have put the surgery to its test. At one point in time, I took a nice big gulp of iced tea and it went down the wrong pipe, which then put me into a coughing fit. Typically, had that been the old Georgia, I would have had an accident, and I did not. I wish I would have trusted in the knowledge that people were giving me and the education and used it sooner.